Rewards have long been used by police to try to get tips and solve crimes. But is this a useful or even utilized tool in San Francisco? That question is being asked by top brass after an investigation by our media partner, the San Francisco Standard. They published an article highlighting several problems with the program, including the discovery that the fund has not issued any bounties for nearly 10 years. And now families of homicide victims are demanding answers. Joining us live to talk about this stunning story is the Standard's senior reporter, Jonah Owen Lamb. Jonah, thanks for your time.
Thanks for being here.
Look, we know that people in San Francisco are very concerned about crime, and they want to use every tool available to solve crimes, especially the most serious ones. What did you discover with regard to rewards and payment of rewards in San Francisco?
What I discovered originally was based on some curiosity that I had. As a longtime cops reporter, I've seen lots and lots of requests for information based on rewards. The cops often will put them out maybe every month. So I scratched my head thinking, just out of curiosity, how many rewards had they paid? How successful is this program? Initially asked the department, they had no records at all. They said their records showed they'd never paid anybody for a reward ever. I didn't think that was feasible because there's so many rewards put out all the time. So I found out that they had paid rewards, but it's been almost a decade since they've actually paid anybody. 2013 was the last time a reward was paid. It was $250,000 for aid that helped solve a crime, a killing in 2006. So this was a surprise to me. Obviously, they're often asking for information. They often tout these rewards. And so that's what the story sprung out of initially. I
mean, do you think it's based on the stipulations maybe that are very stringent, like, oh, the tip has to directly lead to this or fulfill this criteria before you can get the award? Or is it that there aren't people coming in with tips that are leading to anything?
I don't necessarily think it's about the stipulations in the rewards. I mean, that could be the case because what we don't know, we don't know. One inspector, a lieutenant with the department told me he believed it might have something to do with the fact that in the last 10 years, social media has grown and the internet is so accessible that even if you do get a reward and you move away, because a lot of the rewards are based on the idea that you come forward, you testify, or you help solve this crime, and then you move so you don't get killed or there's no retribution against you. Well, it's really easy to find people now. You can move to North Carolina and I can search you up on Facebook or social media. So that was one idea put forward as to why people are not coming forward to help with the rewards. Other than that, it's really unclear. I mean, unfortunately, my reporting didn't uncover why this hasn't happened. Really, it was just brought the question up of, like, if you're continually using rewards as a tool to solve these crimes and no one's coming forward, do you even think that this is a good idea? And the department has reiterated, doubled down. They say, yes, we think rewards are a good idea. The rationale for that hasn't really come forth. Even the chief last night at the police commission said he still thinks rewards are a good idea. And now they're actually going to have a hearing on the matter based on our story.
I was just going to say, right, that was one of the impacts of your reporting, is that they had the meeting, police commission, they talked about this, and Chief Scott did make some promises and to have a hearing to look into this. But your article also mentions this, that the department has failed to report certain information to the city as the law requires. What type of information?
So that's a good point and a good aspect of the story. So in my research, trying to figure out if the department had paid anybody for rewards and didn't know about it because they didn't seem to keep good enough records to tell me if that were the case, I found that there was a law passed in 2016, penned by Mayor London Breed, called the San Francisco Homicide Reward Fund. And in fact, this required the department to annually report what they're doing with these funds to the Board of Supervisors. They have never done that. Right. So even before the police chief mentioned what's going to happen last night at the police commission by saying he wants to have a hearing on this, I mean, it's curious to me, after dealing with their spokesperson for maybe 2 weeks and our lawyers talking back and forth about what kind of documents they have. I mean, it takes a story being published for them to call a hearing, and they were well aware of these issues because I pointed them out in conversation with them in the past weeks. So it is curious why, then they didn't proceed with the hearing and they had to wait for a story to be published.
Well, Jonah, we know you'll continue to stay on this story. Please do keep us posted after the hearing.